Pokemon Go trainers, welcome to episode 111 of Lured Up, the podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Lured Up is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Sunday, December 29th, 2019, last show of the year. I'm your host, Ken, joined by my co-hosts, Adam and Melissa. Hello, friends.
Hey,
how are you?
We in this
Happy holidays.
podcast, because
I'm Melissa.
You in this?
That's me.
Hi.
Hey.
But Ken,
Hi,
like
friends.
always,
How are you?
Hello.
well, sometimes we're joined by
We've got a friend. Yeah, we've got
I know.
an actual friend.
I'm so excited. I was like,
No way.
We're joined by the Shiny King, JT Valor. JT, what's up, dude? How are you?
Hi
man?
guys, how's it going?
Thanks
I
for
missed you.
coming
Hey,
back.
What's happening?
We missed you.
Yeah.
So excited to have you.
It's good to be here. It's been too long.
Reunited.
Yeah, it's so cool when guests come back around. It's always fun to get caught up and see how things have progressed over the time since we last spoke. And I definitely am looking forward to catching up with you, man. I'm glad that you're on the show. Glad it worked out with our schedules to get you in for 2019.
Honestly, I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm glad I made it to the very end.
I know. You did. I would get like texts all the time, like, bro, you got any spots?
Yeah.
Like, you got like, let's
Come
do
on,
this.
man.
Hey,
I mean, we literally stayed in an Airbnb together, and you can't have me on the show? Like, come on.
He's like, I'm at the store right now looking at microphones. Hint, hint. You know, it was awesome. Yeah, if you can't tell, ladies and gentlemen, JT Valor's voice sounds fantastic because he upped his microphone game. Sounds awesome, dude. You sound great. Got some new gear, huh?
Oh, yeah. Got that beautiful blue microphone. Have a soothing voice now. Ah, feels good.
Hell yeah. Luscious. All right, we're going to get caught up with JT in just a bit. A couple other things we'll cover on today's show. We're going to check in with Buddy Adventure now that we've had some time behind the wheel. We'll recap all of 2019. A lot has happened, so I kind of want to highlight some of the stuff and figure out what our favorites were from the year. And then we're going to put our tinfoil hats on, kind of talk about what we hope to see coming to the game in 2020. And Adam had a Christmas miracle, and I'm going to leave it like that for now, and we'll get back to that later. But yes, Adam, in fact, had a Christmas miracle.
But first, let me take a selfie.
JT, man, what's
let's
up,
have-
dude?
let's
You're
talk
here.
JT.
Yes. Excited. So what's going on, man? How are you? Why don't you introduce yourself? Let our community know who you are in case they don't know you and, you know, what you're all about. Talk about your channel, and we'll go from there.
Well, hello, everybody. I am JT Valor, the self-proclaimed Shiny King, though it seems like everybody else is calling me that now, so it's not just self-proclaimed anymore. But yeah, I basically do YouTube videos where I go out and I catch shiny Pokemon and walk 8+ hours a day trying to grind for them, and it's a lot of fun.
It's funny that you said it like that, too, because I was going to talk about your dedication to the grind and how, you know, a lot of other channels and a lot of other creators have, you know, their channels have changed and iterated and developed, and the gameplay element seems to be less and less prevalent in a lot of creators' videos. But for you, you're out there breaking your ass, sweating your ass off, like grinding for hours. Like your videos start with the sun coming up, and then you're like, the end of the video, you're walking home in the dark. I'm like, yo, he's dedicated to the grind. You are holding it down for all the grinders out there, which is really freaking cool. But you're in Orlando, right? So it's hot as shit.
Oh, yeah.
by you.
Well, actually, so that's a benefit for this time of the year. So, like, where everybody else is covered in snow and freezing to death, no offense to you guys, but it's pretty great here. Like, it's 70s to 80s today, and it was just fantastic.
That's glorious. That's like ideal. Yeah, but in the summer, like you're in triple digits, right?
That's
like,
when I suffer, because we also have bad humidity here too. So it's like I'm swimming as I'm walking around, trying to breathe actual air instead of water. It's fantastic.
No, that's one of the things that's cool though, is that you're really keeping it real with the long play sessions, and that's not something that we typically see, you know, represented in the YouTube space much anymore. So kudos to you, man, for holding it down. And this kind of it rolls into how, you know, the last time we were on the show, you kind of told the story of how you originally used Pokemon Go to get super fit and get healthy and, you know, have an exercise routine. I mean, how much are you walking still? Because, I mean, you've got to be putting in serious kilometers.
Oh, yeah. So I actually looked it up before getting on the podcast. So far for this week, and it's going to end soon, I am at 145.5 kilometers walked.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And
wow.
honestly, it's super easy for me. Like, I actually really enjoy the walk. It's not only just the grind, which is what I'm going for, obviously. I'm trying to grind, I'm trying to get as much as possible, trying to get as many shinies as possible, because that's what I enjoy doing. But it's also, like, I know that if I don't do this, I am a very lazy person as well. So if I can, I will lay down and do nothing for extended hours of time. So this is actually very helpful for me to keep me motivated to actually keep the poundage off, because especially after the vacations and Christmas and Thanksgiving, I need to walk this off.
Nice. Well, you said motivated. That kind of brings me back to what I wanted to ask you about making content in general. It's always fascinating to me what motivates creators to kind of pick up the camera for the first time and start making content, and how that kind of develops into a craft and a daily routine and work and, a potential source of income. What motivated you in the beginning to like pick up the camera in the first place and start creating content to upload?
Well, it all started, like, I've always wanted to do YouTube ever since I was a kid, and I've also, like, loved watching Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter as I was younger. So, like, I've always wanted to do something like that because I always thought it was cool, and I didn't quite understand, like, how hard it was going to be because, you're young and you don't understand it. And so I decided finally with Pokemon Go, it's, again, something I used to lose 100 pounds, and it probably would have been great to film that, but I didn't have, like, the self-confidence to do that. I was literally like, I'm just going to play this game on my own and meet some people here and there. But yeah, then it turned into, after a little bit, I'm like, well, I'm actually pretty good at doing some of this stuff. And I feel like I could offer something slightly different than what I'm seeing. So why not give it a shot? And luckily, the beginning of this year was fantastic and actually like blew the channel up, to huge numbers. But yeah, in the beginning, it was just like, let's see if I can do it, I've watched Trainer Tips, Mystic 7, all these other, bigger YouTubers, and I'm just like, well, they can do it, and I feel like I could do it too, and luckily I was correct.
Well, what was cool, man, was, and a lot of the other creators that we've had on the show that are, in the process of creating an identity on YouTube and developing an audience, one of the main things that they've done that's consistent from creator to creator is you would see these creators pop up in some of the other trainers' videos, and you would see a Mystic 7 video, and all of a sudden you got Dark Matter Wolf is in there, or, you're watching a Holly video and Trainer Club is in there, or, you're watching Reversal and JT Valor is there, and it's like all this community-based stuff was all happening, and I think that was kind of, we talk about it all the time, but that's kind of like exceptionally important when it comes to how your channel is developed, because this year has been freaking awesome for you, and it's been really cool to see how you've developed this voice and this position of creating content, again, where you're holding it down for the grinders, man. I think that's just, it's come a long way, and you have a very refined approach. But something that really, and it's so funny because I was talking a couple weeks ago, and I was like watching your videos, and I was like, dude, I think I even messaged you. It was close to your birthday. It might have been even on your birthday. And I was like, bro, there's no one else I like to see disappointed 95% of the time more than you. Like, yeah. And it was just the funniest thing. And, Melissa will kind of get into this because she wanted to ask you on, how you deal with that. But you stay exceptionally positive. Like, you're always smiling, and you're sweating your ass off, you know what I mean? And like grinding your ass off, and you find this way to stay positive. But then what you started doing was this really cool segment, and it's worth talking about, was that the positive comment thing. How did that start? And like, what, that's, I love hearing that in each of your episodes. Like, what's that all about?
So, honestly, I actually found that on another YouTuber, and I was like, this is a fantastic idea. I love this. Like, because he would pick out people's comments, and usually they were just comments like, hey, I love the vids, and he's like, hey, thanks, man, But, like, I want to be more interactive with, my viewers, because obviously you're taking the time to watch me. I'm not going to just be like, well, thanks a lot, loser. Like, I want to actually hear, like, how you're doing too, Like, tell me down below, like, comment, did you get something good? I want to know. And I'll try to find the best one possible, though I will admit it's hard sometimes. There's some really good comments in there. And like, I like to, show off other people, as well. Like somebody recently in my video said that he got his first ever shiny Shelder, which is his favorite shiny apparently. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Congrats, man. Like, I'm happy that, this is, like that you got your favorite and everything like that. Cause even though like maybe I didn't do good today, I'm glad to hear that you did well,
feeding off other
I'm so
people's
happy.
energy.
It's
That's
positive.
fantastic.
Exactly.
But you know what? You need to
Exactly.
do that because there's so much negative crap that if you don't, like, you'll be bored.
Right. Oh, no.
And sad all
It's
the
easy
time.
it's easy for that stuff to get lost in the sauce.
Oh yeah, no.
So it's good to
the
pick it out.
vocal minority that like to scream and shower, or well, not shower, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Scream and
Shout, trying to shout out and be angry, and yeah, they definitely drown out the positivity. So I try, like, of course I get disappointed every now and again, but I'm not just gonna be like, man, this just sucks. I hate this. I'm not gonna just do that. There's no point.
Oh, that's me. I do enough for everybody, so don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, I listen to the podcast enough, and I'm just like, all right, Melissa, go ahead and let loose. I need this, please.
And then at the end, you're like, okay, I feel better now.
I feel better now. I didn't even have to do anything. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So what got you on the shiny grind anyway?
Honestly, so it started off when the first shiny got released. The Water Festival Magikarp got released, and I was like, finally, a shiny. I want this, and like, before like Pokemon Go would ever say anything, like it was just on Twitter or, somebody would be like, hey, this exists, and you would have to be like, is it really though? And then we slowly learned that it did exist, and I was like, oh god. So I went out there and hunted like crazy during that event, and let me tell you, I didn't get one.
Oh, that's brutal.
And
dude.
I went hard for it too, and then but it didn't deter me that I didn't, because Magikarp at that time, before Gen 3 came out and the Barboaches killed them all off, were pretty common. So it was kind of like I know where these things spawn around where I live, so I can probably just do some good loops here and there, and eventually I'm gonna get one, hopefully. And then I did, and it was beautiful, even though it happened like 4 months after its release. But I was really happy when I finally got it, because, like, honestly, after all that grind, and I was like, this is great. And then 2 days later, I got my second one. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Bonus.
You start getting addicted.
So is that like your main motivation to play the game right now?
Pretty much. I mean, it's also kind of evolved a little bit more because of like the YouTube channel and everything like that, and like traveling and, meeting other communities and stuff like that. I'm definitely more social because of this game. Not only did I lose a lot of weight, but also it really improved my mentality towards, being social to other people. So, because I used to be very reclusive and antisocial and just kind of like, unless you're part of my small group of friends, I'm not going to really talk to you because I don't know you. And nowadays, like, I will literally approach almost anybody because of this game. So now it's
so
like,
awesome.
yeah. And like, again, as well with the whole like traveling and seeing other cultures and stuff like that, like,
You're like, I saw you flick that ball.
I know what you're doing over there. I can't speak your language, but there's one universal word that we all know, and that's shiny.
Shiny, exactly. What's the best shiny that you've caught in like the coolest place?
Oh boy,
Because
that
you've
is a
seen
tough
some pretty
one.
cool places. What are like some of the best places you've seen?
So out of like the 3 biggest trips, I would say that Chicago was a good one, but out of the 3 foreign trips, I would say that Japan and Singapore were definitely my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
Hell yeah.
And each one had like a really cool moment. Like this wasn't even a shiny, but in Tokyo, I was hunting with Rayquazas in the morning, like the early morning with Reversal, and it was fun because we were just kind of walking around chatting, trying to learn more about each other and build up a friendship kind of thing. And like we hit a whole bunch of Rayquazas, and then he headed back because he wanted to like pack up because he was going to his Airbnb later, and so I stay out just for a little bit longer, and I'm at the steps of this giant staircase going up to this really cool temple, and then there was a Rayquaza there, obviously, so I'm like, well, I'm gonna hit that, why not? And then I got a 100% on the temple, and I was like, well, this is just beautiful.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I guess the other one would be, if it was Singapore, would be 2 things. I hatched a shiny Liquid, my first ever one there, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And
That's
then
cool.
the second one would be the Lapras, because I finally got one, and that thing made me fight to catch it. Like, it didn't go down after like 6 balls. I was really worried.
Melissa wants that Lapras.
You
have
didn't get
no
one during
idea.
the weekend?
Shut your face. Don't even talk to me about this weekend. Because I got the game going right now. You don't even know. Yeah, go ahead. Keep laughing at my pain. I hate you fucking guys.
So good.
So you've done other cool things like scuba diving?
Recently, I did go on a cruise for a little family vacation. I was with my mother, and she said, do you want to do scuba diving? And I'm like, of course. So she helped me find a really good one in Jamaica, and I was like, well, I want to do videos, but I'm not too sure how people are going to respond to it, because I'm really only known for shiny hunting and grinding, like, and occasionally traveling, but this wasn't for a big Pokemon event or anything like that, so I decided to, as I'm swimming around, I would also, like, green screen in some Pokemon from Pokemon Go and have them swimming around or on the coral or hiding behind something. And it was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm scared to go on a cruise, man. I don't know, man. I don't think I could do it.
Why not?
I don't know. It's scary.
Trust me, man. When you're laying on a big old gigantic, when you're laying down on a gigantic boat next to a buffet, you'll find your way. It's great.
Why would you be sleeping next to a buffet?
It was beautiful.
He didn't say sleeping. He was just laying down, like with one hand reaching back up to the table.
Exactly.
Endless amounts of food and drinks.
Oh, and those drinks were really
He's
good.
hiding underneath the table, just reaching up and grabbing whatever he can get.
I thought we told you to leave. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so we've heard from Ken and Melissa, but what's your hot take on the buddy adventure?
I think it's nice.
Who's your buddy, and what are you doing with him?
I think it's fun. It's a shiny shadow Absol because I have to flaunt. That's just what I do. And
that's such a flex, dude. That's such an awesome flex.
I love it. And the best thing about that little mini side story before we go into the whole buddy system thing, but like me and Shiny Absol have had a bad history together. Like ever since it came out like 3 years ago, I just could not get one for the life of me. Like when they were in research, everything, I just could not get one. And then GoFest 3, when I was with you guys, I finally got my first one, and I was so happy. But then when I learned that Shiny Shadow Absol was going to be a thing, I was like, great, this is going to suck. And then sure enough, the very first Sierra battle I got it, I'm like, oh, don't have to do this anymore.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, no evolution.
Yeah, thank God.
The shadow that like falls behind them while they're walking with you is so cool.
I love
the
it.
look of that.
It's so amazing.
They need to add that to the trainer.
Please,
it looks weird that your Pokemon has this perfect shadow and then your trainer doesn't.
I would pay like $20 to give me that shadow aura. I'd love it.
Oh, the actual shadow aura?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be badass.
Well, maybe they could do that as like
eyes.
a medal. You purify so many Pokemon and you get it as a medal.
Turns out you were sucking the darkness out.
Yeah.
Well, so you purify
sucking
so
their
many
essence
Pokemon
like
to get that
crystals.
purified aura, or you catch like twice as much the shadow Pokemon to get the shadow aura.
I'd be down with that. I'm totally down with that.
I'm sure that they could do that. Niantic,
They just have that button.
Brush
They
your
have the
shoulders
button, update button. They just press it and whatever they want just happens.
Yeah, exactly. And there's never an error on the code or anything.
Never.
And so I know personally, I started out with my buddy as my direct Delibird, but then I switched it to the shiny one to deflect it from me not to being able to not see one that was on the screen. I wanted to make sure I saw it, and then I switched it over to the shadow. So now I technically have 3 that I'm rotating, if you will. Like, how many buddy Pokemon are you managing right now? Does like PvP matter to you? And like,
I have a sad confession. I only have done 1, and I've only really been working on the Absol. I'm actually not that good at it. Like, I actually love PvP. Like, I'm not like ever very competitive with it, though I have done like a tournament or 2, and I did pretty good with it. But it's never been a big focus of mine, mostly because I'm just trying to get the shiny living decks. Like, that's my big focus. But when it comes down to like the Team Go Rocket leader battles, like I did 40 of those today, and like I know my like matchups now. I know what's good for every single one of their combinations, and I very rarely lose to them. But yeah, so like I like PvP, but I don't know. I'm just not. I don't care as much about it as others will. But I am excited for the new like Go Battle League. I will give that a shot, especially because it's based off of walking and who walks. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
and so you featured a bunch of AR in your videos for a long time. Tell us some of the the editing techniques that you use.
Well, for the AR stuff in general, like usually it's just using AR plus and putting it in a location and then just going doing a nice sweeping shot, like what would make sense next to the duck fountain, probably a Psyduck, or if it's an event like, this, Christmas or holiday event, probably ice Pokemon everywhere makes sense. But, anything like the scuba diving video, that was definitely a lot of obviously there's going to be water Pokemon under here. You're not going to see a Charizard next to the coral reef. So,
Oh, man, I would have loved to see that.
that would have been kind of cool.
Just with a scuba mask on, of course.
Of course.
No, the scuba mask is just over his tail.
Exactly. No, big old bubble over there.
Yeah.
But
There's a Squirtle just blowing bubbles behind him.
for that, I had to do a little bit of like special editing techniques with that one. You basically have to put the Pokemon in AR and then put a green screen behind them. I use another phone that has a very low brightness, so it's just a pure flat color, no shadows at all. And then I can take it into Premiere and then remove the green screen and play with it just a little bit to make it clean, and then, throw it wherever I want. And then, like, as you saw with the diving video, have them behind things because I learned how to rotoscope.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to kind of talk about, because that was like, I saw Zoe do that before, that artificial occlusion. Like, once this comes to the game, it's going to be ridiculous.
Right.
But I was so fucking impressed. I was like, yo, he totally got that off. It was, I don't know what, one of the shots with like a clam opening or something like that, and it was like, something was behind like bubbles. I was like, yo, it looked great, man. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was
like, JT's stepping up the AR game.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And speaking of Zoe, that's the reason why I actually started like following Zoe, was because I saw she was doing that like in the very beginning before she got to 100K subs. Like, she was doing this pretty hardcore, and like when she did the one reason why I subscribed to her specifically was I saw she put a Psyduck in the subway system, and as the doors closed, they closed in front of the Psyduck, and I'm like, that is what I've been looking for,
Exactly.
And that's what I want to do too. So like, I've been trying to slowly do more of that.
So, with all the AR stuff, have you been able to mess around with the shared AR feature?
Not one bit.
I have.
How do you
He's
like
busy
it?
catching shinies.
I have. It's fucking
I didn't
hard,
get time
man.
for that.
Is it? What's so hard about it?
It's not easy to place them close to each other, and they always look like they're floating. Like, it just doesn't seem like...
It's not as clean as you'd like it to be.
No. It's very, very difficult to place them close to each other and have them look natural. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is fun.
There is one game that I don't know if I should bring up on the Pokemon Go podcast, but that Jurassic World game that they did with the AR?
Yes.
Absolutely.
They did a really good job with their AR, I would say, because like when it first came out, I was being dumb and throwing them in my videos every once in a while, like, oh, look at the Pikachu on the rock, and there's a T-Rex. But like,
right.
I liked their AR because what you could do is you could put the dinosaur down wherever you wanted, but then say like it went to a spot you weren't a huge fan of, and you're like, man, I wish this was just a couple feet back. You could literally just drag the dinosaur back.
Yes.
Right.
And like
right.
that was really good.
Our son plays the hell out of that game still, Jurassic World Alive. And I've always said that they use like a blend of both anchored AR and sticker-based AR. Like, you can drop the dinosaur into the map and actually walk away from it, and it will stay planted where you left it. So
Right.
It is based on GPS. But then at the same time, just like the sticker-based AR, which would be like AR without the AR plus, you could just drop the asset wherever you want in the background, and then scale it like pinch and drag
Right.
like style. You could just make it huge, make it small. Like I always thought that was a very cool thing. Yeah, so like you could scale it. Now I would think that Pokemon would probably be super strict, because they've always had a big concern with this, with maintaining Pokemon proportions.
Right.
Where they wouldn't want you to be able to do that, because they don't want you to take a Rayquaza and shrink it down to like, this little noodle size, and then have like a Psyduck that's as big as a building. Like, they want to retain the integrity of, the actual scaling of the Pokemon.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what happens in the shared AR. Like, we were using...
Especially with big Pokemon, yeah.
And also, I mean...
Like, Snorlax was tiny, 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 and Melodic was gargantuan compared to him. So, it's like...
Really?
Yes. Yeah, it was really weird.
I've only played with it a couple times. It was only with one other person. I haven't tried it with 3 people yet. But, I have, I follow all the AR photographers on Instagram and stuff, and I've seen some of the results that they're getting, and it's phenomenal.
Oh,
but
yeah, no.
Again, these are the
gorgeous.
The super skilled, But I remember, like, when AR first came out, it was a pain in the ass to place your Pokemon in the right spot. Like, I'm okay with it being a little challenging, but, if it's rough around the edges, it'll only get better over time.
Right.
Yeah.
And plus,
I have
this
high
thing
hopes
only
for it.
just came out, like, what, maybe 2 weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sure it'll get better, but like, yeah, with working with two phones, I think like this is the first time they've ever had that where two phones are trying to place things in the same area and share the same information. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it could actually be 3 phones. You could do 3 things. But I like the interface. I like how you kind of do it with a QR code like PvP. Like it's user friendly, but I guess just a little bit rough around the edges.
Right.
But all right, man. In conclusion here, 2020, it's upon us. What's today's date? The 29th. So we're a couple days away. By the time you hear this podcast, it'll be from the previous year, because it will be 2020 when this comes out. But what are your personal or professional goals for the year? You got anything cooking?
I don't know, man. I don't have 2020 vision. No, I'm just kidding. I had to say it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
That was like an Adam joke.
So perfect.
I had to do it. I'm sorry. So, in general, what I want to do for sure is I want to go to more of the events for sure, like do more travel. I've saved up a bit of money from like just the holiday season, which was very hard to do. But I've want to do that more. I definitely want to like collaborate with more people, though I don't have anybody specifically on mind besides obviously the usual Pokemon Go YouTubers. But yeah, collaborate more. I want to do merch for sure. I've been talking with a few artists in the area that they have good rates and they do great work, so I'd like to do some good shirts and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it, mostly. Just try to build the channel even more. Like you said, like this year has been fantastic. I went from 600 subscribers to 18,000, so a little jump there, so...
So crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
And the funny thing is, it all came from one video, and that was the how to catch a shiny, or how to get a shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Like, I made one video.
I remember that video, man. I remember.
Yeah.
And now that I watch it, I'm just like, well, it was right at the time, but now we know better. And I feel really bad. Like, I want to do like a how to get a shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Go remastered or something. And like, kind of like slowly tear that video apart. Like, you thought this was right, but actually it's not.
Bro, that's
would
good
be a
for
good
SEO,
video.
man. You make the video, you put 2020, just put, how like you see that a lot with music. Like, like I want to hear the best pop punk music. You can put pop punk 2020. The results will all come back, based on year.
Right.
So you could revisit all those old topics. Just throw 2020 in front of it. We're at the top of the year and start building that SEO.
There
So
you go.
it's like over the course of the year, people are searching for shiny techniques. It's like, oh, shiny hunting techniques 2020. It's like, that's the one I want. It's new. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've actually been
for it.
like
Go for that.
scripting that one pretty hard. Like I found somebody that has a green screen, and I know how to do some fun stuff with that. So I want to like try to do some silly fun stuff with that. And like when you guys hung out with me, you know that I'm not 100% what you see in the videos. So I want to kind of slowly integrate that. But
I want the JT drinking tequila straight from the bottle.
why not? Hey guys, long gulp. Let me tell you how to get some shinies. By the end of it, I'm just sleeping, like passed out.
The green screen is like sideways, so you see like your kitchen in the background on half of it.
Yes. Am I in Hawaii or
man.
am I in my kitchen?
That's so awesome. But dude, you got to come to the New York area, man. You got to, it'll be interesting to see where GoFest is.
To be honest with you,
I don't know if it's going to be Chicago.
I do want to go to one of the Samsung get-ups. Like, I do want to do that one time. I've wanted to do it for a while, but, I've just been too busy. But, yeah, one time, like, I just want to go to their, Samsung A380, or I'm probably mispronouncing that, but...
Yeah, A37.
The
It's
A37,
awesome
yeah.
space, man.
It looks cool. Like, I've seen your Instagram stories about it. I see the videos from all the other YouTubers, like, and Samsung, if you're listening. I mean, I've been repping Samsung since, like, the beginning, even before them, so I'm just saying, if you want to throw an S10 Plus my way, I got you. But,
Well, yo, we were at the Microsoft store today, right, in the mall, and Melissa picks up a phone. She's like, yo, what the hell is this? It was the Galaxy Note 10. I was like, yo, that's the Team Galaxy phone. I go, that's the shit. That's what Holly and Brandon are using.
Oh, yeah.
She's,
I've
like,
never actually
drooling
touched
over
one.
it.
I was like, oh my god, I love
how did the future feel?
Oh, sexy.
It was too shiny.
No, it's awesome, man. That phone, it's got like the curve that wraps around and everything. It's
Oh, yeah.
I used it at A37 too. It was,
I have
it's
the
a
model
beautiful
that's
device.
under
I'm an
that
iPhone
one.
guy.
I have the model that's under that one, specifically. So, I kind of know what it's like, but I haven't seen true greatness just yet.
It's great.
Well, it's out there.
But, all right,
It
man.
is
Well,
out there.
of course, I'm going to link to everywhere that our community can find you: Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, all that good stuff. But where should our community go if they want to find you online?
All right, well, if you want to see some awesome shiny videos, you go to YouTube, you look up JT Valor, you'll find me with a big old smile next to a shiny swine up. You'll find me. And then on Twitter,
That's the cutest picture in the world, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I got it from
and the swine up.
Secret League took that picture. I was just like, this is beautiful. Send it to me. And then Twitter, it's at JT_Valor. I'm also on Instagram, JT_Valor, and Patreon, JT Valor.
Awesome. We'll definitely link to everywhere that we can find you. But look, JT's the real deal. He's grinding his ass off. Give him some support. Let your eyeballs see what he's doing, because it's absolutely hilarious. And I'm telling you, man, it's like I root for you every time when you're doing your little cute little countdown. Like, come on, let's see if it's shiny. 3, 2, 1, and you're just like, it's not shiny. And
God. Every time
I see it in your eyes, and you're just like, you look off camera, you're just like looking out into the ether, like, next time, life, sweet. I'm so funny.
I'm glad I didn't do that today.
Yeah. But JT, thanks again so much for coming on the show. We're definitely looking forward to hooking up at GoFest this year, or if you come to Samsung, that's in our neck of the woods. So we'll definitely hook up and make some content magic.
Oh, 100%. I thank you again for letting me come on again. Thank you, and everybody who's listening from my... Oh, guys, I love you. But anybody who's listening to this right now that listened to me, please follow the Lured Up podcast. These guys are amazing. I got to hang out with them in Chicago. I love them to death. I am sad that I missed Melissa at Montreal, but it's fine. Maybe next time.
Yeah, don't even. It's another heartbreak. I don't even.
All right, guys, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the rest of the show and kind of recap 2019, talk about our hopes and dreams for 2020. But that'll be in just a minute after we take a break. JT, thank you again, man. Hope to see you soon.
Thanks a lot, guys. See ya.
Bye, friend.
All right.
Later.
Everyone else, we'll be back right after this. We're back from our break.
We're back. We're back from our
JT
break.
Valor, thank you so much for coming on the show. He's good people, man.
He is.
It's always good to talk to JT. He's really fun.
He was fun to
missed
chill
him
with
so much.
and sleep over with. I go fast.
Yeah. No, he was. I'm telling you, man. It's like he was as hard as he grinds actually playing. He also grinds from the content perspective. Because I remember getting back to the Airbnb at like 3 a.m, and half of us kind of like crashed out, and then I know JT was up fucking editing at like 3 a.m. I'm like, yo, this is how you do it. I go, you want to grow your channel from 600 to 18,000 in 1 year? You get back to the Airbnb at 3 a.m. and drink tequila from a bottle and start editing. that's how you grow your channel. But no, JT, thank you again for coming on the show, man. Always good to hear from JT. All right, guys, a little housekeeping before we get to the back half of the show. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/Pokemon Professor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month.
$1.
That's her new thing. She keeps. I
$1
jump every
holla.
time. It's like I hear it in the other room before I hear it in my headphones. I'm like, she's screaming, isn't she? So funny. That $1 will get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons: Brittany, Jay, James, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L, The Noise, Harry, Pokénab, Bot, Purple Pancakes, Tim Gears Be Bangin', Lady Goobly, Miko, Ranger Matt, The Phoenix, Baker Boy, Joel Switch, Alex, The Illustrious Overseer, Jason, Matt from Kentucky, Paul, Justin, Val, Monica, PJ, and Trader Tex J.
Wow.
Okay.
Whew.
All right, one breath.
I think as this gets longer,
Huge shout out to our executive producer, Paul Bott.
I was going to say, as this gets longer, we're going to have to split it up. Like, Adam's going to have to take it halfway through.
I know, right? Something. But huge shout out to our executive producer, Paul Bhatt. And if Patreon isn't your thing, no big deal. There's a couple other ways you can help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, turn on notifications. And if you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you can take a moment to leave us a review. It helps us out a ton. All right, guys. We talked last week. The community let me fucking have it this week.
Why?
Because last week we were on the show and we were talking about Buddy Adventure, which we're going to kind of recap here. But I had mentioned that I wasn't sure if Smeargle could photobomb your buddy session photos. And it's like the instant that shit hit the airwaves, it was like I got tagged like 100 times on every fucking platform. Like, here, jerk off. Yeah, Smeargle can photobomb you. It's like all the proof was there. Because I was
Way to do your research, man.
No, well, the thing is, it was, the show came out 4 days after we recorded it. It was early when we first recorded, so a lot of info hadn't come out yet. But by the time it hit the airwaves, it was like, yeah, it's very clear that Smeargle can, in fact, photobomb you. So if you guys tagged me or sent me info or busted my chops, or even if you did it out of the sweetest, from the sweetest place, thank you guys for getting involved and keeping us updated with the news.
Yeah, it's well appreciated.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome to see all the community interaction there on that stuff. But how's your buddy adventure been going for you guys? Are you guys engaged with the mechanic? Like, do you think this is going to be part of your daily routine pretty consistently, or you think it's gonna?
It's hard to remember it.
Your poor Pokemon, dude. Your poor Pokemon.
No. Like I'm actively trying, but I'll forget, and it's like. I just wanted to jump in real quick, catch a few things, and get out. And now this is like, you have to stay a little bit longer just to get that done. And like, I won't realize it till like later on in the day, and I'm like, ooh, I have not fed you all day long. I am a terrible owner.
You gotta set the
Well, maybe you shouldn't be managing
update.
more than one Pokemon at a time. You can't handle it.
I'm not managing all three of those.
Maybe
I'm just saying, it went from the first Delibird. It went from the first Delibird to the second one because it was shiny and it differentiated itself, but then the shadow one I caught and I was like, wow, this is the best thing ever, and then I put it as my buddy.
So now you're just focused on Shadow Deli.
Right, but
okay.
Once the event ends and I don't see any more Delibirds, it's going to go back to my OG.
Your regular Delibird. But
correct.
So I'm going to assume that you haven't reached excited status yet with any of your Pokemon. It's a pain in the ass. It is hard. If you're not using the Poffin, it's tough. You have to go back to the game. But there's still loose ends, and I'm gonna call on the community once again because you guys came through, big time with the whole Smeargle thing. So I've got questions, and these questions have not yet been answered as far as I can see anywhere online. Although I did not dig through Reddit too far because that place can be very dark and dirty sometimes. But here's my questions. How long does the fucking mood stuff actually last? Because when Trainer Tips put the video out, we talked about it last week, it seemed that so long as you didn't switch buddies, whatever emotion level your buddy was at would stay for the duration of the day. But that, in fact, does not. It actually decays. So it's not like your hunger meter, but apparently the mood will actually decay over time too. So it's not like you have to reach 32 emotion points over the course of the day. You have to reach 32 emotion points over a smaller window because over time those points are going to fade away. Yeah, you have to maintain it.
But there's no way to tell.
There's no way to tell.
No easy way.
They need to add like a bar or something, just like they do on the menu, like the main screen where you have like the ring around your Pokemon face. They need to do that on the inside, or make the face change colors, and over time as it fades into the different colors, okay, he's losing happiness, because right now there's no way to fucking tell where in the happiness fucking meter he is. It's like all of a sudden he's just got the little grin, and then next thing you know he's got the bigger grin, and you're like, oh, all right, cool, when the fuck did that happen, and how long do I have to keep you like that?
Right. That the keeping it like that's the confusing part, because you don't know how long that you have to complete it. Now, there is data that online saying that when you give your Pokemon a Poffin, 100 Pokecoins in the shop, it will stay in excited status for 6 hours. So even paying your way into it, it's not going to last all day. It's only going to last 6 hours, or at least that's what the early data says. So reaching excited status without a paid consumable, I'd imagine could even be like half that amount of time. So maybe it only lasts 3 hours. Like, who knows? Who knows if it follows the same kind of decay as your hunger? I don't know. But
jeez, get ready for the internet to blast us on that one.
Well, I'm asking for it this time, so I'm
asking for a friend.
Yes, no. Now it's definitely like thank you, sir. May I have another kind of thing? Like, let me have it. Let me know what your experience is, guys, of how this is working out. Because this would be solved if there was a meter, so we could actually see how it behaves over time. But we don't have that, so it's left to us to figure out. But Pokemon Go Hub did put out a really, really awesome infographic and recap of what Nick from Trainer Tips put in his video of how to get your buddy up to excited without using a Poffin. And the way they break it down is in 3 14 emotion point like sessions. So you would visit your Pokemon 3 times over the course of the day and do all the potential activities that you can do to get up to the 32 total points needed. But again, we don't know how quickly you need to do this before it fades away. But they give you a nice little infographic. You can save the image to your phone and say, okay, here are the ways. This is what I need to do as my little reminder of going in here and figuring out how can I maximize my play and keep this Pokemon excited. Adam, have you reached Great Buddy yet with any of your buddies?
I believe.
No. We talked last week about how in the Pokemon Go Hub article they were talking about how your Pokemon or your Great Buddy would assist you in catching a Pokemon. So we've seen this now, and it's really freaking cool. When the Pokemon swats the ball away, you'll see like whatever your buddy is, it'll like come in and headbutt the ball back and hit the Pokemon, thus saving your ball and potentially a streak or something like that. So that is really, really cool. And I saw Poké AK had some up to Ultra Buddy where they're actually starting to give him the souvenirs and all that cool stuff, which is really neat. That leads to this. Bonus hearts. So we talked how you can earn up to 10 hearts per day standard per buddy. Well, apparently, if you receive a gift or a souvenir from your Pokemon, you get a bonus heart. So you can actually earn 11 per day. Ultimately 21 per day if you're in excited status, but you can earn 11 per day if you do everything and your Pokemon gives you a gift or a souvenir, which is again only going to happen after being great buddies. But I love this, man. I think it's absolutely awesome. I've got 4 buddies that I'm kind of rotating. My level 1 10 CP Magikarp, which is the one that I'm like really dedicating all my effort into, where I'm, doing all the actions per day, revisiting it through the day, doing as much as I can. And then I have a couple other 100% Pokemon that I'm cycling through, and I'll just here or there do it a couple times a day just to scrape a couple hearts together. No real like keeping track or anything like that, but I'm having a freaking blast with this. I think this is one of the coolest systems to come to the game in a long time.
And now, as far as the system goes and you're rotating buddies, like what are the other things you're rotating?
I'm using my 100% Pokemon that I would be using in raids. So okay. I'm doing like my 100% Kyogre, my 100 Machamp, all that kind of stuff. So that way I'm going to have a little bit of an edge when it comes to, needing these Pokemon to put down some big DPS and have some bigger defense. That's really the main focus for me. I haven't really researched the benefits of Great and Ultra League PvP when it comes to which Pokemon to use, with the bonus. I haven't really done that yet. So I'm just going after my 100% because those are going to be the ones that are really going to benefit the most from the 5-level CP boost when it comes to, being maxed out at best buddy level. But in all seriousness, though, I just want the ribbons. Like I want to complete the ribbon decks. I want all my buddies to have
here
ribbons.
We go. Another collection.
That's right. Hell yeah. But no, I'm having a real good time. Melissa, you're on the fence?
I'm on the fence because to me it just seems like another thing to grind away at. Like I was expecting more like the whole play together thing. Really? It's weak. I want more than just having like I want to actually be able to play with it. I want to be able to give my Pokemon different swipes and have it have different interactions. Like,
well, we get a little bit of that, but not.
No, you can swipe back left and right, and the thing fucking spins around. Like, give me a break. That's some bullshit. Come on, no. Like,
well,
I want to
see
do
the
something
attack
like,
animation.
Like I just think that they could do more with that. Like, it still doesn't feel like my friend. Like, I want my Pokemon to feel like my friend. And I still feel disconnected from it. I feel like it's just another thing I have to work at. Like, it's okay. Like, I love seeing him on the screen. I love being able to touch him and see his fat little face and smiling and bouncing. And I love that. I think it's cool, but it's missing that connection. Like the whole the commercial where like if it shows you like you look like you're so connected to your Pokemon. I'm not feeling that. I want to be able to really play with my Pokemon. I want to be able to take the Pokemon out in like the play mode and be able to place him in like different things and make him do different interactions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I agree. It is really weak because they give you the play meter, and it's like it's only once per day. So like going in there and like scratching it real quick, like. Really?
Takes
you gotta
second.
Remember though, that's one heart per day.
Like the whole I know, but the whole scratching thing, you could do a whole thing with itself. Like, all right, when you scratch your Pokemon in different spots, its head moves. So like, why can't you give it like different kind of achievements for finding its special place and scratching its special spot, or like, and each Pokemon could have its own certain spot, and when you scratch it enough times, you earn a reaction. Like,
no, I hear that completely, because in Sun and Moon on the 3DS, when you were doing Pokemon Refresh, there was certain parts of the Pokemon that they would react differently if you're scratching. So if you're scratching behind the ear, it would react one way. If you scratch it like on its ass and it doesn't like it, it would kind of like, shush you away.
You, like back off, bitch.
So that is something. But again, all these systems get iterated on over time. So who knows if that'll come. This is just the first iteration. So you got to be patient. It's easy to say, oh, I want him to do more. I want him to do more. Yeah, of course, I want that shit too. But I have a feeling
and the forcing the
this will
Snapchat
come.
is annoying. Because it's just taking up roll on my
but
roll.
it's also a nod at like forcing you to
use the systems,
get a chance to get a Smeargle if you don't know it exists already for a new player.
Oh, that's true, Adam.
But I think once the system is iterated more, I think that you're right. The connection part with playing with the Pokemon is lame right now, because even when you're doing the actual rubbing, the reaction from the Pokemon is very subtle. So it's not like, it's not very, very noticeable, and you don't get like this hilarious animation of it, going, tilting its head and like, oh yeah, that's the spot. Like, I don't feel that at all. But like in Pokemon Camp, in Sword and Shield, and Pokemon Refresh, Pokemon Amiibo, going back a couple generations, you could like bring out different toys and play fetch. Like, I have a feeling that stuff will come where, you can have different, like a ball or a baseball or a basketball or a beach ball, and, certain toys will, Pokemon will like certain toys and not others. Like, I have a feeling that'll come in time. I hope it does, because I love this system. But that part of it, the play part of it, yeah, it's very dry right now, because it just is what it is.
You get these special gifts eventually from them that could be like earrings or something. How funny would it be if you can actually put them on your buddy?
Yeah,
that would be a fun play thing. Like, let me dress up my Pokemon with the items that I have from my shop. That's a fun play thing.
Yeah, well, Let's Go did that amazing, where you could get the different accessories, hairstyles, like that would be fucking phenomenal if that came to that.
Or if it's like the little treats that they bring, the trinkets that don't do anything, quote unquote, but like they can interact with those pieces. I mean, none of us are there yet, right? One of them like a piece
of glass or something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. None of us are there yet, right? Because it's just daily that we have to get a certain number of hearts to increase our friendship, correct?
Yeah, you got to get up to Ultra. Oh, at Great Friends, they give you the gifts, which are like, they'll get like a little satchel and it'll have some potions inside. But then when you hit Ultra, that's when you get the actual collectibles, the earrings and the random stuff like that.
Yeah, so has anybody gotten to that yet?
Yeah. There's people
okay, so when we get there, maybe the play thing, they allow you to put those pieces
No.
Like, have them play with it?
No.
Yeah, you're right.
One can
It's
only
not
hope.
there yet, but I definitely think, and when we get to like, our what we want to see in 2020, we can kind of talk about this a little bit more, but I definitely like it, but I still have questions. I just think that they could do a little bit better job of giving us some more information in game and leaving less to speculation, because no one just really knows how this works. And, Pokemon Go has kind of been like that from the beginning, but they've been good at getting better with, tutorials and stuff, but just not enough detail yet of exactly how these systems work. So I'd like to know a little bit more, but I do feel, though, when I am rotating through my Pokemon buddies, that it does feel like a little bit of a chore, because I'm just going through, okay, rub, snapshot, feed, next, rub, snapshot, feed, next. You know what I mean? Like, so that starts feeling like a task more so than like, hey, I'm not doing this because I want to be buddies with my Pokemon. I'm doing this because I want, rewards. You know what I mean? It's like for the wrong reason. So we'll have to see how this develops. But yeah, I hope the play part of it comes out a little bit more. And again, when the AR technology catches up too, I think that playground mode could be really cool with occlusion and all this stuff coming down the pipeline. So we'll have to see. But before we start talking about the future here, I do want to talk about 2019. This is the official last show of 2019. So I put together a year-long recap, and I want to run through month by month 2019, talk about what we had going on. And then when we get through the calendar year, we'll talk about what our favorite moments of the year have been. But it was really cool putting this list together to see exactly how much has gone down in this game. And Pokemon Go Live on their blog put together a really nice recap, making it real easy for me to see the whole year in a snapshot. But let's start back in January. Now, we're not even talking about community days. Obviously, we know every month there was a community day, and we just had our community day celebration in December. So we won't talk about community days. We'll just talk about the other stuff. Going all the way back to January, the Hatchathon. We've had this a couple times. Safari Zone in Porto Alegre, and we had the first batch of Gen 4 Pokemon. So we're on Gen 5 now. January was the first time we saw Gen 4. So in this year, we've seen the release of 2 generations. Now we got February. This was the Lunar New Year event. This is when they released Shiny Spoink. We had the release of the Team Medallion, and one of the biggest things of the year, Go Snapshot, and we'll come back to that. In March, the Bug Out event. We had the Battle Showdown event, and Dialga come to raids. So March was a little bit more chill. April, Safari Zone in Sentosa. We had the introduction of Lucky Friends. The Avatar poses came out, and they did the Go Snapshot Challenge, which was super successful, and that was a lot of fun. May, we had the Lake Guardians, Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf released. We had the introduction of the 3 new lure modules. And we also had the Snoozing with Snorlax event. That was awesome. So that was all the way back in May already. June, Go Fest Chicago. July, this was the biggest thing of the year, Armored Mewtwo. I'm just kidding. No one liked Armored Mewtwo. Poor Armored Mewtwo. We had Go Fest in Dortmund, Germany. Team Go Rocket was released. This was the Team Rocket takeover when they did that cool campaign with New York City streets and all that stuff. And Shiny Rayquaza released. We're halfway through the year. August, Go Fest in Yokohama. We had the return of the Water Festival. And Jirachi, which was released back in June at Go Fest Chicago, was released worldwide. September, we had Safari Zone Montreal. We had the first time we saw Gen 5 Pokemon. October, Safari Zone in New Taipei, and the Halloween event. You know what? Before I even get any more ahead of ourselves, I want to talk about the numbers of trainers that were at these events, and you can see how they've grown over the calendar year. So, Go Fest Chicago, right? 60,000 trainers were there over the course of the weekend. So you had 60,000 in Chicago. It was huge for us. Then when you go to Dortmund the next month, 85,000 trainers were there. Go Fest Yokohama, 135,000 trainers were there. Then you go up to Safari Zone New Taipei, 327,000 trainers. So 60,000 at Chicago.
Insanity.
327,000 in New Taipei. Like, can you imagine if they do an event of that scale in North America? It's going to be freaking insane. So bizarre. Like, I just don't know what it is. Just with the size of the U.S., the geography making it difficult to have an event with that many people. But 327,000 trainers for a Safari Zone. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. November, Colossal Discovery, Cobalion, the Looming in the Shadows, and then we had the whole Giovanni loop come into the Team Go Rocket stuff, which was really big. And December, the month we're in now, we had our Community Day celebration, the Evolution event, and all the holiday events that we're still kind of reaping the benefits for right now. Boom. All this shit over the last calendar year. What are your guys' highlights? Adam, anything stand out to you as that you remember being a good time from 2019?
Go Snapshot, because we had JC Pop Punk Pokemon on, and he was, we were all talking about it, and then it released, and
that was so
insane.
Exciting. That was super exciting.
And it really was a game changer. And then also the Snoozing with Snorlax. I can't tell you, it made me go out and get pictures of Snorlax sleeping, and it's I wish there was an option for me to do that still.
Yeah.
That would be cool. If you had a yawn Snorlax that was from the event, you had the option to make it sleep again. That'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Melissa, what about you? Anything stand out for the year?
Of course.
Those two really were the two for me. And then the Go Snapshot challenge was fantastic too, because it got everybody involved. Those three things.
Melissa, what about you? Anything stand out from the year?
Just the Snorlax event. This year has not been good to me. I can't forget the
holiday event.
This Pokemon year has not been great to me. So, although I did like the introduction of the avatar poses, I thought that they were just a fun addition. Stupid.
Pokeball Flex was the best. Yeah, for me it was Go Fest Chicago. That was absolutely amazing. Being able to have the podcast meet up at Monk's Pub and pack that place was just absolutely awesome. And then
yeah, but I feel like that's a given though.
Yeah, man. Well, no, I'm not even talking. Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the event. I'm talking about just the people, man. Getting the people together. No, but Go Snapshot for sure. I mean, that was a major game changer. I think that, that's just one of those major mechanics that allows people to, like Buddy Adventure, allows people to connect with the game in their own way, in a unique way. So Go Snapshot for me is probably the highlight of the year. You have Gen 4, Gen 5 released, but, again, those are givens. New Pokemon are given. But the mechanical stuff, I think Go Snapshot is probably my number one thing of the whole year, which was awesome. But also I do want to give a shout out to Niantic proper for making serious moves. In addition to the stuff that we just talked about here with Pokemon Go, Niantic has made some significant moves. They announced last month a partnership with Qualcomm. They released the Niantic Real World platform. They did the creator contest, which was amazing. All this charity work that they've done, acquiring so many new brands, they're just making moves, significant moves in the tech industry. And I definitely want to give them props because it's cool that the developer of the game that we love so much is also its own monster, outside of just the game development, partition of their business. They've got so much other cool shit that's going on, which is really exciting to know what's going to be coming in the future. I'm really excited to hear all that. Yeah, I think Go Snapshot for me is probably the best. Really, Melissa, Snoozing with Snorlax, that's your most memorable?
I just remember getting out really late and that's how I spent my night, was just hunting Snorlaxes.
I just remember seeing them on the map and it was just hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, what can honestly top that?
I guess you're right.
Really?
Well, the holiday event is going on.
Yeah,
right
fuck
now,
the
so
holiday event.
I can't discount, the fact that Delibird are everywhere.
And his ass.
Okay,
You know
all
why?
right.
Because
Okay, all right, guys. I don't know if I can continue doing this podcast anymore.
Let me count how many I have in my fucking Pokédex right now.
We're no longer friends.
Because
I've been laughing for 60 seconds. All right, so let's as Melissa looks for that, let's recap the holiday event because I think the last 2
I have
weeks
42 Delibirds in my fucking Pokédex right now.
That's nothing.
I've deleted a lot. Sorry, well, transferred. I grinded them up into candies.
All right, Adam, how did you do with the holiday event? How has it treated you?
So far, I've done all right. I've done a little bit. I've caught a few things.
Well, what shinies? Come on,
Go
what
on.
shinies?
Let me type in-
What
Go
shinies did you
on.
get?
They started with the glacial lures or whatever. Like that was like everybody wanted those, not just for the one day, but I dropped several glacial lures, and I had one mossy lure.
Right.
And let me tell you, guess what shiny I got?
What?
A freaking shuckle.
Really?
No.
Delibirds all over the screen. I get a freaking shuckle.
That's awesome, though.
I got a freaking shuckle. I already have a shuckle. I don't need any more shuckles.
You already have Delibird
My
too,
bad.
though.
I know, but I'm still on the hunt for the 100%. Okay.
All right.
Gosh.
Well, Adam, I do have a note
let me have
here.
one thing. Okay.
I have a note here. Adam's Christmas miracle.
Okay. So, ending of Christmas, all the traveling, all the going places, visiting family, all the stuff, all the opening gifts, everything's done. It's almost midnight. I look at my map and it says, down at the Moose, there is a Delibird. And I'm like, okay, I got a couple minutes. I'll walk down. You know, it's almost Christmas. I still haven't gotten a shiny Delibird this whole event. I walk down. I spin the stop, which I probably shouldn't have done that first. I then click the Delibird, and I had like AR mode on or something. So I was like, I didn't see it at first, and then I went out of it, and it was like, okay, Shazam! It is a shiny Delibird. And then I look at the clock, and and after I screenshot it, so here I spun the stop. I had it in AR mode, took it off AR mode, and took a screenshot. The screenshot was at 11:59, but by the time I threw the ball and it hit Delibird, it changed over to 12.
It's a Christmas miracle.
So in my heart, it will always be my Christmas
It
Delibird.
is.
Even if the tag says 12:26.
I think that's still a Christmas miracle. I was very happy for you.
I agree.
When you
Me
posted
too.
that, I was like, no freaking way. He just sends me the message. He's like, look at the timestamp, 11:59. So awesome.
I couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, that's
You
great.
know, and I came home, I came back in the door with the biggest smile on my face, and Chanel's like, "What?" And I was like, "I caught a shiny Delibird." And then she's like, "You're gonna trade it to me, right? Because I traded you mine." I was like, "No." But I did also two more things. One, I did catch a shiny Sneasel, which everybody and their grandmothers caught one,
Yeah.
and I just hatched this morning when I walked into work a 100% beanie Pichu.
That's sick. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you said glacial lures.
And that's how my
Did
event's
you get the cryogonal?
I got the Cragonal.
All right, good.
The Cragonal.
And Melissa, how's the holiday event treating you?
Well, I've yet to see a shiny.
What?
Yo, she's been playing
You're not clicking
so
on enough
much, dude.
Pokemon.
No, bro. I've been playing.
Have you been
so
hatching
hard.
eggs? Do you have
Yes.
Adventure Sync on?
I do. I even went out on Saturday and played for like 4 hours.
She did.
And my friend
Did
got
you do
two
any
shinies.
raids?
Oh yeah, we did raids. We hung out at this one spot that like Lapras was spawning nonstop. Nothing. It's been bullshit.
Wow. Sounds like a good time.
So, yeah, I definitely feel for her because she's been out playing for like long periods, and yeah, the shine, the
I
RNG
feel
has
that
just been
increases
fucking her.
your chances.
And then even tonight, fucking, we go out to like run to some stores, and not only did I get screwed out of going to the stores that I wanted to go to because they closed by 5 minutes, right? But Ken, I was so mad. I was like, at least just go over here so I can like get these Pokemon, because like there was a Starbucks there, but it's gone now, but there's like still a gym and mad spawns pop there.
But don't
And
tell
we
anybody. They're going to get rid of it.
No. Well, so we pull over there, and I'm checking everything, nothing, and as we're leaving, Ken checks on the fucking Sneasel, and it's shiny. And I was like, he's like, that's my second one.
That's my third one.
Third one.
So I hosted a Timeless Cup
So bitter.
On Friday night in Red Bank, which was awesome. Thank you for everyone that came out. And we, it's pretty much on top of a stop. So I had glacial lures for the most part running all night. I ran 5 glacial lures, right? Not a single cryogonal spawned the entire fucking night on 5 glacial lures. Not one spawned. It was crazy. Tons of other spawns, but no cryogonal. So I ended up that night at the tournament catching 2 shiny Sneasel. Had no shiny Sneasel prior to this. Caught 2 shiny Sneasel. At the tournament itself, 6 people there in the building caught shiny Sneasel. I caught 2 and 5 other people caught 1 that night at the event, which was totally crazy. And then on my way home, I caught the shiny Snow Runt, which was awesome. And then I hatched a bunch of Beanie Pichus, no shinies or anything. I did a couple raids of Stantler, so was able to get that, but no shinies. No shiny Delibirds, but at the mall yesterday, I was able to scoop up a cryogonal. We just happened to be walking by a glacial lured stop and got the cryogonal, but I can't complain, man. 3 shinies, 2 Sneasel, and the Snow Runt. So that's much better than I usually do, and I catch a lot. I typically don't get good shiny luck, but I'm very happy with that. Oh, and also over the course of this holiday event, I did pass 80 million XP, so I hit the level 40 times foe. So not bad for the part-time
Congratulations.
grinder.
I'm almost at 1 million.
Yeah, well, you're almost. You need.
Wait, are you not level 40 yet?
Not yet. I'm creeping.
Come on, Melissa.
She got the Pikachu medal, man. One thing at a time.
She is literally.
I got the
creep.
Pikachu medal. I got it today.
She was in the car talking shit. She's like, I still don't have this goddamn thing. And then like the next Pikachu it pops. She's like, oh my god. She's like, I can finally buy the Pikachu clothes.
But you don't understand. Like earlier, right before that, 3 of them had run from me after I dropped like 4 or 5 balls on them. Yeah, the game wants to make it difficult for me. It's like, here, you want to enjoy something simple? Ha ha. Nope.
I thoroughly enjoyed this holiday event run of things that was going on. We still have some more stuff that'll be going on, half hatch distance. But by the time you hear this podcast, all the holiday stuff will be wrapped up and we'll be into January. But I thought that this was an amazing way to close 2019, amazing way to close the month. Close the year, just nonstop shit going on in the game was a lot of fun. All right, next bit of miscellaneous news. This is going to be coming from Niantic's blog on NianticLabs.com. They put together some really cool blog posts talking about the decision-making and the thought process behind some of their game mechanics and things like that. But they did this one post, which I thought was pretty interesting, and they do this every so often, and it talks about the name of the post was Promoting Transparency and Trust in Our Community. This came out on the 19th of December. And they talk about how since the launch of their games, they've taken these, pretty significant steps to battle against cheaters and hackers and spoofers and all that crazy shit. And I just wanted to make sure everyone knows cheating is still a thing in this game. Like, it is still heavy. Spoofing has actually picked up steam, it seems like, lately. And I think that might be one of the reasons why they kind of put this note out to say, like, hey, don't you guys worry. We're not resting on our laurels. We're still going after this shit. But they talk about all the steps that they've taken over the last year to stop spoofing, like that virtual machine service that they shut down, which is really big. The farming accounts and Ingress that they took down. The different platforms that made like cloning software where it would be like the, Go++ and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff got taken out. A lot going on that Niantic is still involved with. There's still a lot of resources on Niantic's side used daily to combat cheating and spoofing and all that stuff. So thanks to Niantic for still fighting the good fight. And then one other bit of miscellaneous news here. Team Go Rocket leaders have updated their teams So now, the first Pokemon that they bring out is consistent every single time, and that could be the potential shiny that you can catch, the Shadow Shiny. Arlo now has Bagon, Cliff has Stantler, no bells, and Sierra has Absol. So you can get that shiny Bagon, shiny Shadow Bagon, shiny Shadow Stantler, and shiny Shadow Absol, just like JT Valor did. So new stuff going on there. Guys, I now want to, as we close the show, I just want to talk a little bit about 2020, what our expectations are, if we have anything we'd like to come to the game, any ideas, anything. What do you guys want to see come to the game? I put together a little list here, and I'll run through my dreams here really quick because I think some of them are pretty practical. And it starts with a couple of quality of life upgrades that I'm sure a lot of people will agree with here. Give me a goddamn ready up button in raids, please. Thank you. Like, oh my God, especially with like Stantler and, a lot of these tier 1 and tier 2s that I've been doing solo, like jumping into a raid lobby and then having to, I know it's only 2 fucking minutes, but it still seems like forever.
It's annoying.
It's annoying, especially like if you're there alone, just let me ready up and get through that lobby. Harry Potter, this was added to. They got to do something. It's just been one of the most requested quality of life upgrades in a long time. I hope that comes to the game. I would like them to put a search function in the Pokedex screen. Like, let me search on a Pokemon by name, just like in the inventory screen. I hate scrolling through the Pokedex and having to, like, wow, what gen is this Pokemon again? Where is it in the list? It'd be nice to just be like, unknown, and boom, I jump right to my unknowns. I forgot who brought this up in our Discord the other day. It might have been Terry Wolf. We were talking about the ability to tag our Pokemon differently in the inventory screen. So that way, instead of just renaming or instead of just having the star to favorite, we would have different markers that we could put on our Pokemon. So that way we could have like a different color code or something saying, hey, this is a PvP Pokemon. This is a raid Pokemon. This is whatever. Additional ways to tag our Pokemon would be cool.
Yeah, didn't Draconius Go have something like that?
Oh, God. This again?
Oh, my God.
They had something like that, right?
I don't know, man. I never turned that fucking game on once. God, still talking about that shit.
Well, speaking of that, let me download that.
Let's see. Oh, and here, this kind of talks about what Melissa was talking about earlier. I wrote refinement of Buddy Adventure. I said, let us see the emotion meter. Cooldown timers are great. And I know that this kind of seems like it works better on games that monetize by allowing you to speed things up. But I would love if they put timers. Like, I fed my Pokemon a berry. I could feed him another berry and earn a point in 30 minutes. Give me a little countdown. I don't mind that. I play Clash Royale, Clash Clans. I open those games up, filled with fucking timers. I understand why it changes the aesthetic. They may not want to do that, but for this, I think it could really help. Let us see how many hearts we have in total on a buddy. So we know that I need 70 hearts to reach great buddy level. Let me know where I'm at. How many do I need to reach that? Just like if I'm on my friends list and I click on the friend level, it'll say, interact with your friend 22 more days to reach Ultra Friends. Give me that with Buddy. Let me know where I'm at with my Buddy hearts. Let's see. Raid Radar. I got a lot here. Raid Radar, similar to the Rocket Radar. Let me have a larger, wider field of range of vision for raids. So that way I can, post them in Discord. Give me remote trading. Like, enough's enough. Let us fucking remote trade with best friends. I would love more NPC narrative and interaction. I think that's great. And finally, breeding. I think that would be the big one of the year, which is one of those missing dynamics from the main series that we could see potentially come to Pokemon Go. Because we already have such a strong egg-based, mechanic. I think breeding is, a natural way to progress and reinvent how we look at eggs. So,
but how they should do it is, again, have like breeding houses. So turn Pokestops into like a breeding house and a daycare. Yeah, daycare. But you have to, just like the plant things from Harry Potter, the greenhouses.
You have to water it.
You have to, yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You have to go back to the house and get your buddy excited a little bit. Give a little. How's your father?
Oh my God.
No. But like, you have to go there, and it takes interaction from multiple players. So like, I drop off a Delibird and you drop off a Ditto. Like, that's how it works, instead of me leaving multiple Pokemon. And it works like a gym, so after, like, 8 hours or whatever,
No, because that would suck. You know why? Because what if you want to try and get something good and someone sabotages you and puts something really shitty in there, like a Weedle?
Well, that's what's teamwork. You have to do with your community. You go out with 2 people and you do it together.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity for breeding, but I think that's a natural progression. Melissa, what about you? Anything you hope to see come to the game in this next year?
Well, I mean, Jesus, Ken, you listed so much shit.
I know.
You pretty much.
I did.
Yeah,
I
took it all away.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
said
guys.
everything.
That's
Thank you. Good night.
I mean, I had something and now I'm having a brain fart.
Snorlax.
Talking about breeding.
No, the breeding I could care less for, to be honest. I feel like that would be like just
Another task. Another task for you to do.
another fucking task. Oh, this is what it was. I think that they should bring in where you could fucking trade items with someone in your proximity. Like, if I'm standing next to someone and I want to do a raid and all their fucking Pokemon are knocked out and they don't have any fucking revives, I should be able, and I've got like fucking 500 revives, I should be able to gift revives.
That's cool. Or even raid passes.
Or maybe a thing where you can customize your own gifts with extra items in your own. Ooh, that'd be cool. Like, say you've got a ton of items in your thing, you can make customized gifts like that has like 2 potions, 2 revives, and something from your inventory, and then gift them to whoever your ultra friends
That'd
with.
be kind of cool. Okay, so, but then
Just a way to trade items. I think that would be. And a way to delete eggs.
Oh, that's the big one. That's the big one I missed. Good fucking call, Iguado. Yes, deleting eggs. Faux show. Need that shit.
Or give us an opportunity to have 3 more eggs in our
Or
inventory.
give us an opportunity to earn incubators for free again.
You just got free incubators.
I know, and
not,
it was
not
great.
This, but like
It was
anybody
great.
that's hit level 40 times 2. Give us
Give me that
one
free-
extra infinite incubator.
Well,
No, give us every fucking once a week. You should give us a fucking 1 use free incubator. If you hit the 7 fucking
You reach 100
Pokestops,
kilometers, you deserve it.
if you spin
Sorry, I'm
stops
trying to
7
play the
days
devil's
in a
advocate
row,
here. It's not
I think
working.
as a part of your weekly thing, especially with the adventure sync and everything, like why not
throw
get a
an
fucking
incubator in there.
Why not get a one-time use incubator?
Yeah, if they're never going to give us coins,
And for new players,
get 50 coins
there's
a
no way
day.
for them to. Stupid.
So, well, that begs the question then, do they raise the level cap? Like, would you like to see, does that matter? I mean, obviously, Melissa, you're not level 40, but, I mean,
No, I
it's,
don't give a shit.
Should they raise the level cap? I don't know.
Why?
Because to
Why?
help
Why? What do you
retain
need
and
to?
motivate some
You
of the
can't use
endgame
any
trainers.
higher Pokemon in PvP, so what the hell is the point?
Right.
All right, Adam, what about you? What's on your wish list?
I'm just excited for whatever the new PvP, the Go Battle system is going to bring, because I just want to see a bigger and better Worlds presentation.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for this year's Worlds for PvP, for Pokemon Go. Like,
It's
card game, video game, Pokken tournament aside. I can't wait. I cannot wait, because watching it was so exciting. How they portrayed it, it was fantastic to watch. It was visually pleasing, and it was a lot
I
of
think the
fun.
Go Battle League is going to blow the doors off of this becoming more of a spectator thing or a competitive thing on an organized scale. And again, we got so many people out there pushing esports for Pokemon Go. It's just a matter of time before this really tips the iceberg with blowing up.
And my only hope is that it shakes things up in the whole PvP community. I know you're all going to hate me, but it makes it more fun for more casual players.
No, of course.
And
yes,
allows me as like somebody that's like dabbled in it and like I like it, but me personally, if it's not, there's no like end goal, if you will, right now for PvP. It's just kind of like I'm battling and it's just for fun right now, and it's not getting me like world's invite.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But that's not for the casual people either, though. I think that they're going to have a blend of both. You're going to see the ability for people to play casually in the Master League. And if you want to get a little bit more hardcore, you could step down to Ultra. And you want to get even more hardcore, you could step down to the Great. Because that's when you're going to need to have more refined team, better knowledge of Pokemon, type advantage, all that kind of stuff. Where the Master League, it's just like, bring the big dogs. I think that's super realistic that they're going to, their focus is going to be both on the casual and the core. But the Go Battle League is definitely going to open the doors to allow more casual PvP play, for sure. Because they need the numbers. They need volume of people to engage with that mechanic for it to be successful. If they're going to, take it to the point where you're going to actually earn championship points and you're going to be, have a road to regionals and a road to worlds. I would love to see that shit. I think it's going to happen for sure.
And then just to be able to jump in on the same page with everyone versus me coming in sort of late with PvP and like getting excited about it slightly. Now I get to just invest a little bit more and just go straight for it and be on the same page with everyone.
Because jumping into like self tournaments when you haven't done any prior is daunting. It's very intimidating. So they're very
like
smart.
even the battles in our league, in our Discord, like I don't necessarily take them like too seriously, but like they're tough. Like everybody in there is like they know their types. They know
they're fucking good.
I get my butt handed to me for the Timeless Cup. I was like, geez, I thought I have a rank 4 Sceptile for Community Day shiny, and it's fully powered up. It's ready to go. And I just got my butt handed.
That happens, dude. I'm telling you. I almost won. I almost had one of my first real good wins today, but Matt kicked my ass in the end. Damn it. But close though, like one or two like fast moves away from winning. So it's been getting exciting. But guys, we did it. That was a show. Yay. Thank you, everyone. As we really close out the year, I do want to say thanks to absolutely everyone in our community.
Yeah, huge thank you to everybody that's helped us.
2019 has been fucking awesome for us. 2020 is going to be even bigger and better. I cannot wait to see where this goes because we're gonna stay the course and stay focused as we go to 2020 and making some shit happen up in her. So. Anyone who's ever supported or if you're listening, thank you so incredibly much, man. We really, really appreciate all your support, especially to our patrons. Means the world to us to have your support, and this keeps us going on a daily basis. So thank you guys so much for that. But you can email us info@luredup.com. You can get our Secret League pin over at the Secret League store. Link will be in the description. You can leave us a voicemail, 732-835-8639. You can check out luredup.com for everything that's going on in the show, Pokemon Professor for everything that's going on in the network. If you want information on the New Jersey Mega Tournament, PvP tournament coming up this spring, check out njsilfarena.com. A lot of news happening with that tournament coming up in the next week or so. So thank you guys so much. Have a happy new year and a safe one, too. Everyone be safe this New Year's.
Yeah. Yep. Take an Uber if you need to.
Next year.
Or Lyft,
the greatest joke. All right, everyone. Keep training, trainers. We'll see you next year.